I'm speaking with,
John Sumser,
and you are with,
the HR Examiner.
an awesome blog. And I was speaking with Heather Bussing, and she was talking about the need for us to just dump social media policies. Well, if you do that, and if you agree with that, I don't know if you do, what do you do next? I mean, isn't there a reason that people are trying to do that?
So it's a really good question. The idea of having a policy is that somehow you communicate the things that you're trying to get done in the organization by handing out pieces of paper, and that's never worked. Anybody who's got an employee manual knows that it sits underneath all of the rest of the junk in your top desk drawer, and you never look at it. When you put out a social media policy, first of all, you get in trouble for doing it from the NLRB, but the second thing is that it will never communicate anything. The reason that people want a policy is to solve problems that they're afraid are going to emerge from social media, like people saying bad things about the company or disclosing trade secrets or ratting on their kids or doing union organizing or the thousand things that you can do in social media, and that's what companies are nervous about. It's not useful to try to solve those fears with pieces of paper. What you have to do is change the culture with the principles that you're trying to accomplish. Now, you can't put a prohibition against communicating about the company between people, but you can teach people what you mean by having the principle of authenticity or the principle of integrity or the principle of transparency embedded in all social media communications that go out from employees of the company. So in order to do that, rather than write a policy, what you do is you define the universe of things that you're afraid of, the things that you want to have some influence over the way they happen in social media. Then you have small training programs for core people whose job it is to go provide informal training to the rest of the organization. And the reason that you do it in that way is because what you're trying to get here is full adoption of the entire employee base around a set of behaviors and attitudes associated with associated with social media. The thing to keep in mind as you go through that process is that we're in the most early stages imaginable. We're at the early AOL CompuServe stage of social media, and it's going to get way more interesting and way more complex over the next 5 to 7 years. So any educational process that you set in place needs to be flexible and adaptive so you can account for the things that you can't imagine that are certainly going to happen.
Awesome answer. I love it. Thank you so much, John.
Yeah, you're welcome.